All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Just like that last video about the young man that had a lot of money, Big Bank Hank. So now we go from younger guys with money or no money to older women that have money. And boy, what a difference. This woman's 49. You might as well just say she's 50 because that's the last year in that bracket. So let's see what happens on the game show.
The beautiful rich woman goes to a blind date, but no one turns on the light, all because of her age. Today, on our dating show, we have Lynn Jelly, a woman who exudes the aura of the perfect wife and exemplary mother. As soon as she entered the stage, her beauty captivated 5 of the male participants.
And look at her, she's gorgeous. 50 ain't never looked so good. But I tell you this, if it's more than a 3-year age gap, it's pointless.
Who immediately became excited. The participants enthusiastically exclaimed that she was their favorite, that she was the perfect match for them, and that she was the ideal partner. Some exchanged competitive glances, already predicting that this choice could turn into a fierce competition. The desire to impress was evident, with everyone trying to show they were the most compatible option for Lynn Jelly. The atmosphere was lively, and everyone wanted to prove they were the type of man she was looking for. But no one could have imagined that Lynn Jelly was already 49 years old.
Should have said she was 32. She would have got away with it.
Well maintained, she appeared to be only 27 or 28, which made the 5 men look at her in admiration. It was as if time had stopped for her, making her appear as a younger woman, full of vitality and charm. They commented among themselves that if someone chose her, she would surely treat him with affection. One of them joked that no one should try to steal her away from him. Another, more reserved participant, merely observed, but it was evident in his expression that he was also impressed. Everyone seemed to understand that Lynn Jelly wasn't just beautiful, but also carried with her a positive energy that captivated everyone around her. At 1.68 meters tall, Lynn Jelly also surprised the participants' parents. How could there be such a perfect woman? Soon the question arose, was she naturally beautiful or had she undergone cosmetic surgery?
Uh-oh.
With doubt in the air, what was once admiration turned into a more detailed analysis, almost like a quality assessment.
To be honest with you, somebody that age, it doesn't matter how good they look, but I mean, I'll go on vacation with her, but that's about it. Like, as far as like a lifetime partner, no. And she has a kid. So, those are 2 no's for me.
The pressure was mounting, and the participants' parents began to question what was truly behind her stunning appearance. Curious, they asked if she had always looked like this. Lynn Jelly responded that she had never had plastic surgery and that her beauty was entirely natural. One of the parents, observing her closely, confirmed that it was indeed noticeable.
Oh.
Another commented that beauty was important, but what truly mattered was the woman's character. The revelation that Lynn Jelly hadn't undergone cosmetic surgeries made the appreciation for her appearance even more genuine.
Oh, sorry about that, you guys. You see that right there? It kind of shows right there. It just depends on the lighting. Like even if a young person takes a picture or records a video in bad lighting setting, it's going to age you by like 10 to 20 years. So it all depends on the lighting. So the more lighting that you're under and you're recording or taking pictures, it's going to make you look younger. So that's another thing, but it's all out right there.
It was a rare beauty that seemed to transcend the superficial. But above all, her character was the most praised quality. But Lynn Jelly was not only remarkable for her looks. She was born in Guangdong and later moved to Shanghai, where she started her own business. Passionate about soups, she opened a broth shop that became a great success.
All right.
Her rise wasn't just about being a beautiful woman, but about being a successful businesswoman who overcame challenges and achieved independence. Today, she is a rich woman with her own home and car in Shanghai, a city where real estate costs a fortune. However, the participants' parents weren't interested in her financial success. What really mattered was whether she could take care of their son and do the household chores. For them, Lynn Jelly's appearance and success were secondary. The real test was her ability to assume the traditional role of wife and mother. Success in her career could be admired, but it didn't guarantee she would be the ideal wife.
Thank you. The looks and her career are secondary. It's all about what kind of person you are and whether how toxic, if you're toxic or not. But see, the thing is, with older people, they've been through more side trauma. So that's one thing they have to deal with. The young person has to deal with. It's like, well, she's been through way more bullshit than me. So it's like, number one, you can't even run game. You can't even play stupid games with these women because they know all the games from their earlier years dealing with guys. So that's one thing. So, I mean, it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but it's like whatever the last guy she was dealing with didn't do, she's going to expect him to do it. So that's one thing you got to put up with.
They were more interested in whether she could be the ideal housewife they envisioned for their sons. One of them asked if she knew how to do housework, to which Lynn Gilly promptly responded that she did. She explained that despite having a successful career, she had never neglected her life at home and knew how to manage both responsibilities.
Good.
She spoke proudly about how she balanced her professional and personal life, always dedicated to her family. The sincerity and confidence with which she spoke about this made some of the parents feel relieved, as it seemed Lynn Gilly not only succeeded in her work, but also possessed the traditional values they were looking for. The participants' parents praised her, saying she knew how to shine both on stage and in the kitchen. What seemed like a simple blind date was turning into a competition, but one that went beyond superficiality. With so many qualities, the participants and their parents were very satisfied. It seemed that the competition for Lynn Gilly would begin, but it was at this moment that she revealed a surprising detail. She is 49 years old, was once married, and has a child. Suddenly, the excitement disappeared. The reaction was almost immediate.
So, I haven't heard anybody use the term, they haven't called her leftovers yet. But the fact that she was previously married and has a child, she loses points. Ouch.
Relaxed atmosphere turned into discomfort. What seemed like a fairy tale story of beauty, strength, and independence now seemed to crumble in the face of reality.
And before y'all get butthurt, of course she has a chance with somebody. It's just that she needs to find somebody else, finds another divorcee with a child. That's what I think most single mothers should do. They should look for single fathers and then join the union like a Brady Bunch. That's a good idea versus me being younger than you and you done lived 2 or 3 lives already and here I am just starting out. You're my first serious person and you already been married and had a whole child by somebody else. And then here I come when I could have chose somebody else around my age that's never been married and doesn't have any kids. That's how I look at it. That's just me.
Lynn Gilly had already lived a life and carried with her a past. Years ago, Lynn Gilly married full of expectations, but the marriage quickly went into crisis. The fights became unbearable, and in the end, she was forced to leave her home with her 6-year-old son, taking nothing with her. To support him, she opened her own business and worked tirelessly until she achieved success. The tragedy of her marriage was a story of overcoming adversity, and she wasn't ashamed to talk about it.
Wow. So she didn't get nothing out of the divorce. Wow, that's crazy. So she had to stand on her own 2 feet. Now, see, if this was in the West, she would have got the house and everything.
Lynn Gilly knew that life doesn't always follow the path we imagine, but she was resilient. She found strength where many would have given up, proving that even in the face of hardships, she was able to build a better life for her son and for herself. With a reflective look, she shared that her son was born into a wealthy family, but by living with her, he saw their life change completely. For her, this was the greatest motivation to fight. The contrast between the luxurious world of her past and the simple life she now led was a turning point. This change made her rethink her priorities, leading her to seek success on her own, no longer waiting for anyone's help. It sounds like a soap opera, right? But there's an old saying that those who succeed in their careers fail in love. Despite having financial stability, Lynn Gilly had never found a partner who truly matched her. The weight of a painful past and the emotional scars from a failed marriage were factors that hindered her search for love. She saw herself as a successful woman, but her heart was still lonely. Upon hearing her story, the parents of the participants felt as though a bucket of cold water had been thrown over them, and the men who had been so excited were now silent. The reality of Lynn Jelly's age, her life experience, and the fact that she had a child was a hard blow.
Yeah.
They found themselves in a dilemma. On one hand, she was everything they could wish for, but on the other hand, her situation seemed like an obstacle. According to the rules of the program, if no one chooses the candidate, she will be eliminated. The tension rose, and Lynn Jelly knew that time was running out. She watched the lights go out and felt the weight of rejection. Her expression revealed sadness, but also a certain resignation. She knew that no matter how much she had done right, society's expectations and the families around her were hard to overcome. It was then that a 23-year-old young man unexpectedly stood up. Even knowing her age and her story, he chose Lynn Jelly without hesitation.
What?
This left the parents desperate.
Uh-oh.
One of the participants explained that he didn't choose her because he thought she was too old, and if she entered his family, he expected her to have at least 2 or 3 children.
At 50?
Meanwhile, the 23-year-old ignored all the criticism and firmly replied that Lynn Jelly's son would also be his son. The parents tried to make him change his mind, asking if he truly didn't mind that she was 49 and had an 11-year-old son. Without hesitation, he responded that he didn't see any problem at all.
What? Ricky Tan's son is bullshitting. So basically, he's not looking for a wife. He's looking for somebody like another mother.
And that, in fact, it made everything even easier for him. The young man's mother, surprised, tried a new strategy. She looked directly at Lynn Jelly and asked if she truly understood how men worked. In a provocative tone, she argued that a 20-year-old man is a gamble,
Ooh.
a 30-year-old man is a good investment, and a 40-year-old man is highly valued. She then asked Lynn Jelly what would happen when she turned 50. Would the young man still feel the same way about her? At this question, Lynn Jelly was visibly shaken, and her eyes filled with tears. The young man tried to justify his decision, explaining that he had always liked older women because he had never received love from his parents.
Wow, that's a hard blow. So like I said, he's looking for a mother. He's not looking for a wife, a spouse.
Since he was little, they were too busy with work, and he grew up without emotional security. For him, older women brought the affection and understanding that he had always lacked. Hearing this, the young man's mother began to cry, promising that she would compensate for the lack of affection.
Wow.
But accepting Lynn Jelly as a daughter-in-law, that she couldn't do. Seeing the situation, Lynn Jelly decided to gently end the matter.
I'm glad I'm American born and raised. That's all I gotta say. That's a harsh pill to swallow, because see, in other cultures, they're very strict about who you choose as a spouse. When the man chooses a spouse, the family's deeply involved. And a lot of times, the children usually choose the wrong spouse. It's like, a lot of times, the parents could see through the bullshit, so, damn.
She suggested that they could just be friends,
Wow.
and said that he could call her sister. The young man agreed, saying that being friends was indeed a good idea.
Friends with benefits? A friend in the rotation? What kind of friend?
And so, the date ended in failure.
Damn, son. Yeah, like I said, that didn't end too well. That's a big age gap, 23 and 49, or should you just say 50? So, wow. It's amazing. But if he won't, somebody else will. Just say it like that. It's not all bad for her. And like I said, she looks fabulous for her age. She kept herself up physically, but mentally, that might be a different story, but that's neither here nor there. That was an interesting video, and I guess we'll wrap it up right here. And once again, shout out to All Asian Dilemmas. This is Kai DeVale. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.